Howdy, Admiral. Alright, yeah, so let's just jump right into it. Jeskai Blade. Kind of reasonable legacy cards, 8 good cantrips, 4 Force of Wills, and then playable win conditions, True-Name, Stoneforge Mystic, Clique, couple of Jace the Mind Sculptors to tie the room together. This deck's honestly not that dissimilar from the blue-black deck we played recently. This is basically a blue-white deck with a small red splash. We've got a couple of bolts in the main. Then we've got Rebs and Pyroblast on the board, along with some Blood Moons to give us a bit better chance against the big mana Eldrazi decks that can be tough for this archetype. Let's dive on into it, shall we? This is our second league with the London Mulligan and Legacy. Played the blue-black deck to reasonable success. See how this one goes. Morning, Seth. Mueller, Slacker. Happy Monday, folks. The countdown to War on Arena has begun. Slow and steady. Island, Brainstorm, fetch land. Yep, keep. Island, Brainstorm, fetch land. Keep. Island, go. Yep. Good luck, Red Link. Misty Rainforest Mox Diamond. Okay. Chalice, Dark Confidant. Part of me wants to brainstorm in response to this to try and find a force. I think I'd rather just wait. I get to see one card deeper if I wait. So I think waiting's ideal here. Gives me a better chance at a plow or a bolt, and I get to clear away 2 of these lands potentially, or Batterskull that's useless, or some other bad things. Ban Blood Moon. Thank you for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I think I'm throwing back Volk plus Tarn. So notably, Scalding Tarn cannot get basic planes. So while the fetches are a little bit more valuable with my cantrips, I do want access to my basics of every color against what the opponent has going on. Could be green-black depths, could be 4-color loam. I think Mox Diamond's generally more indicative of 4-color loam, but could be a variety of things still for sure. Huh. You want to start on Brainstorm here? Because if I hit... I even want to Brainstorm before I even play a land, because if I hit a Stoneforge Mystic, I want to play Plains, then I'll use the Stoneforge Mystic to shuffle my deck. And I think I don't really want to just jam True-Name, because... what's the word that I'm searching for? Because my mouth is mush. I don't just want to jam True-Name because then I don't have a fetch land to shuffle away this Brainstorm, because I have to use the fetch to get the second blue for the True-Name. Thoughtseize, sure. What's going on, Seth? I don't know. I'm saving all my dealer's choice points for standard this week for sure. If you throw Bant Eldrazi back in, we're gonna get back to it sometime pretty soon, probably next week at the latest. There's only 8 Magic Online decks left in my queue at the moment, and I plan to play 8 between today and tomorrow. So we're kind of just waiting on a Jace the Mind Sculptor here. Getting a little bit punished for not just jamming the True-Name, but it is what it is. They know about my pile of answers here, so might have a little bit back and forth. The fact that we haven't seen any non-green or black sources yet. And I guess the Misty Rainforest 2, to a degree, kind of implies to me that they could be playing, someone had mentioned green-black depths earlier, and it seems like it's feeling like it's more and more likely that they're green-black depths. Which makes these swords to Plowshares just worth their weight in gold. Karakas also very potent. I'm just gonna keep playing Drago here for the time being. Just gonna wait, get a little bit deeper. I could Brainstorm, but like I'm just like not in a rush. Like my opponent's like not doing anything meaningful at the moment. Get my Tron list in the queue. Usually I'm pretty good to go for Tron to be in the queue. In fact, I think we played Tron yesterday, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna get to Tron again tomorrow. Because there's already another variation of Tron in the queue. Alright, so let's Brainstorm now. The Spell Pierce is running a little ragged. Although that's delicious. So they know about Counterspell, but they don't know about Spell Piercer, so they're trying to crop rotation while my Counterspell is down. They could have a Spirit Guide here. The depth stack often plays Spirit Guide. Okay, I'm pretty sure crop rotation puts them on hex depths as their turbo depths, black green depths, whatever you want to call it, as opposed to 4-color loam like I said they could possibly be. I only cut decks in the queue for large donations because it takes me a lot of work to push things around. So it requires a $50 donation to change a deck into the current queue that I'm playing today. That is expensive intentionally because I prefer not to do it. I like people to be able to open the stream and know what we're going to be playing for the day. But Tron will be up tomorrow. I'm planning to do 4 decks today and 4 decks tomorrow. I don't think this is a Meddling Mage matchup. Containment Priest doesn't really have text. I don't think Flusterstorm's good enough here. Maybe I could afford to trim a True-Name, although that might be going too low on win conditions. Leaves me 4 Stoneforge, 3 Snaps, a Clique. One True-Name's probably fine, especially since I'm boarding in Blood Moons and like don't want too many 3-drops. Seems reasonable. I guess Council's Judgment could potentially be bad. Maybe that's a better trim. I don't hate leaving some amount of Lightning Bolts in, because it does kill Hexmage when they play it out proactively, and this card kills Dark Confidant, which they're playing. In fact, I could see a world where Lightning Bolt just ends up being a little bit better than Counterspell. I don't hate that on the draw, especially. Let's try this. I haven't actually worked on any deck lists because I ended up streaming yesterday. So, probably do a little bit tonight and then do some. I'm off Wednesday now, so I'm going to be doing them a little bit closer to crunch time. As you will. There's rough archetype names. There's archetype names or like build-arounds listed in the queue, but anything that's built has a link in it, but I haven't built anything myself yet. It's like the double discard spell opener. Sure. Thank you, sir. May I have another? They have 2 cards left. What are the odds they're like Hexmage Dark Depths? You think this deck is going to be able... This deck that I'm playing right now? No, probably not. It's probably worse than just playing Counterspell. Alright, so... Because I thought they could have potentially been 4-color loam, I fetched around Wasteland pretty aggressively last game. I'm not going to do that this game because the Hex Steps is less likely to be in on the Wasteland plan. It also made my mana a little bit awkward last game fetching around that, so I'd prefer not to have my mana be awkward. I do have Blood Moons in my deck, though. I guess that's true. I think I'm going to any order shuffle these. Am I? I guess it's like a blue card, a Blood Moon, and... Sabanite, thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I've never done reviewing other people's stuff before Ban Blood Moon. Usually I look for a $25 donation for me to write a sideboard guide for you. So, somewhere around there, probably. Yeah. I fetched a non-basic and then forgot I had Blood Moon. I think I'm supposed to keep these. I think I keep the True Name because it pitches to this forest. The problem is, like, I can't, like, really afford to play the Blood Moon out at the moment. Hey, Genesis, thanks for the 7 months. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I mean, like, this deck is all good cards. Like, every time you ponder, you're going to see lands and good cards. The question is, like, how does the cards that I looked at there build into an actual game-winning plan is, like, the question I have to ask myself. I'm not sure that I have. Like, I might shuffle this Blood Moon here, because I don't know that it really does anything at the moment. Because, like, if I want to play the Blood... I guess I could, like, fetch Volk, and then, like, play the True Name and plan to play the Blood Moon 2 turns from now. Or they just have Dark Depths, so I have to fetch. Yeah. I think I was supposed to shuffle that. I think there was merit to shuffling those cards. Yeah. I think I was supposed to shuffle there, because I just, like, don't have a cohesive game plan. For people not familiar with Legacy... the cards Thespian Stage and Dark Depths together. When you activate Thespian Stage targeting Dark Depths, you make a 20/20 indestructible flying token, which means I die. So, oh, that felt more like a game of Modern than Legacy. My opponent just like played 3 discard spells, so I didn't get to make any meaningful choices. Then they like combo killed me. And the only choice I really had that game was whether or not I shuffled my Ponder, and I guess I made the wrong choice there. What's the problem with Legacy, Seth? That felt more like a game of Modern than Legacy to me. Someone who's played a lot of the format, those types of games tend to happen way more in Modern than they do in Legacy, in my experience. Like the no decisions died to combo kills. Keep. It's fine. It's got a force. It's got a couple blue cards. It's got a plow. I'm gonna be conscious of the fact there's Blood Moons in my deck and fetch some basics this time around. Yeah, I think I'm in for these. I think I'm gonna hide. I'm going to draw the Snapcaster Mage, leave the Brainstorm on top of my deck, though, because I don't want them to Thought Seize my Brainstorm next turn. So I'd like to be able to Brainstorm away the Sword of Fire and Ice. It's not doing anything particularly useful at the moment. I assume they're going to punch us in the face here on turn 1, yeah. Unsurprisingly. And there's a True Name, and then there's 2 cards I don't know. I guess I'll do this now. So I could find like a Ponder or something underneath. Alright, so I'm definitely putting this back. I think I'm just throwing the True-Name back for now. I don't really want to deploy that. And I'm hoping to draw a cantrip or a blue card next turn. Or cantrip or a blue land, sorry. Yep. I don't want to draw either of the cards I set back on top of my deck there, so we'll crack a fetch. I think it's important that I grab Tundra here. I just need 2 blue and I need a white. Makes Blood Moon a little bit awkward down the line, but this way if I draw like a Plains or a Mountain, I can still Snap Ponder this turn. Alright, that's a great draw. Gives me a clock. You're still asking me to predict the future there, Chewy. Do you think X archetype will be good? Do you think X archetype will meet arbitrary metric X that doesn't have any objective defining? So I have no idea. And again, just like even knowing the full spoiler, it's like even knowing the full spoiler, it's like there's not a replacement for the actual experience of playing with the cards. I think Hero is fine this season, and I think it will continue to be fine. Fine would be the descriptor that I will continue to use. But it's like actually not in that good of a spot here, especially since we drew this Batterskull. Like, obviously I'd like to draw, or the Stoneforge Mystic. Obviously I'd like to draw a 3rd land here at some point, so I can like start snapping Brainstorms or Ponders or something like that, but with the Swords of Plowshares, we've got some good insurance here, and the Batterskull's going to put them on a reasonably fast clock. I did host Nassif yesterday when I signed off, so that makes sense. I'm looking forward to playing with Vivian. I really like flash creatures. I really hope Wilderness Reclamation doesn't make the flash archetypes offensive. Alright, 4 turns, let's go. Hey, Amuse Griffin, thank you for the 9 months. I really appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Are we going to see a removal spell on my Germ token here? Crop rotation, sure. And now, this is notably important too here. I have gone to 22 life, which in addition to queuing a Taylor Swift song, it means that I survive a single hit from the Dark Depths token. I'm going to go ahead and Spell Pierce this, and the reason for Spell Piercing it is, if my opponent pays for the Spell Pierce, they're then behind a turn on making a 20/20, which gives me an extra draw step to hit a land to be able to snap Swords to Plowshares. Because right now, their line is like, take my plow, hope I brick on land for a couple of turns. So I get 2 more draw steps at a land here. And next turn, I can still draw a cantrip to find a land. So this next turn, they're going to make a 20/20, assuming I don't hit the land. And then they'll hit me, and then... Sure. And then I'll need to find a land so I can snap Plow. No, I just ignore it, Moldylocks. Oh, that's true. They just can't even attack, right? Because they're dead on board. It's actually very true. I didn't think about that. We can use Surgical to thin our deck. Stop it. I hadn't even considered the dead on board angle. I definitely should have. I'm stopping on their draw step to Surgical them, because it means that they have a chance to draw it for the turn, and they drew a loam. Yeah, the Batterskull allowing us to take a hit could be the saving grace here. So they have a Sajiri step. They have 2 stages. They don't have any removal spells in their deck. They have a Marsh Casualties. They have a couple of Safekeepers. They have a Rite of Consumption. So this would let them kill us. They have 1 draw that lets them kill us here. Nope, not at all, Goldilocks. Especially with the sub only chat, y'all pay to be here. Don't ever feel bad about asking questions. All right. So here's the tough part, right? So they're just conceding. All right. I was just saying they're technically not dead because Swords to Plowshares gives them 20 life, but because I've surgicaled their Dark Depths, like, they're probably dead. And if I hadn't had the surgical there, the fact that they drew the loam would have allowed them to beat that 3rd land, almost certainly. A friendly tryhard. Thanks for the 11 months. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. No, they have a Rite of Consumption in their deck, Sabanite. So I'd rather just take their token off the table and not risk them drawing their 1 out to kill me. Because with the Dark Depths surgically extracted, once I plow that, I can probably kill them almost certainly before they kill me. Morning, Tom. Happy Monday. Sure. I guess this hand's actually not that good. It has no 3rd land and no cantrip. Maybe this one was supposed to be a mulligan. I don't know, it's got like Castable Plow, Castable Pierce. If it's a 3rd land, it's got Snapcaster for both those things. I'm a big fan of disrupting cantrips aggressively in this format, especially when I have like Snapcasters to follow up the Spell Pierce. This is gonna be like never hit 3rd land day. I mean 21 lands in this deck, yeah. Alright, well. It's not a land drop, but at least it's something to do. Go get my friend, the batteriest of all the skulls. A Rite of Consumption is basically Black Fling for people looking up Rite of Consumption. And for people on YouTube at home that might not know what that card does. I assume we're gonna get Terminus here. Really? They were just digging for a Terminus. Interesting. Okay. So I'm going to get Batterskull into play here. That's pretty good for me. Opponent could be a mirror match of sorts. I think the end step Brainstorm implies Terminus, though, so I'm more inclined to think they're playing Miracles. He must be pretty positive to be a Batterskull. But alright, sweet. There's a land. I think I just pass. If my opponent's a Terminus deck, I don't really want to commit the True-Name to the board alongside my Batterskull, so I'm just going to get the Batterskull down. What's going on, Keeper? We're doing alright so far. We're 1-0 to start this Legacy League. This looks like pretty reasonable. Had decent sets with it before today. Yesterday went pretty well. We had two good leagues to finish off yesterday, which was nice. It is just a mirror match of sorts. Okay, so Stoneforge Mystic out of them makes it slightly less likely that they'll have Terminus in their deck. It also makes True-Name Nemesis a lot better. There's a good chance if this resolves, they can't take it off the table. I think I'm actually just going to plow the Stoneforge Mystic here. And then if I hit a land here, I can actually put Sword in and then hit them with the Germ with the Sword, which would be nice. Perfect. It was really bad. I don't think that deck's very good. I think it's much worse than banned. If this hits, the game is basically over. Pithy, thank you for the 7 months. I really appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Hope you're having a fantastic Monday and a good start to your week. I'm enjoying all the Apollo for Modern Legacy you've been playing in particular. Awesome. Good to hear it. Yeah, we actually had a pretty good viewer count from us yesterday. It was like, I think my average concurrence ended up over 1,000, which was awesome. Supreme Verdict, sure. And like now they've spent a Supreme Verdict, and I'm gonna get to untap and play True-Name Nemesis, which is like very good for us. I choose you, Pikachu. So, True-Name Nemesis, for those who are not familiar with how offensive this format is a 3/1 that has protection from the chosen player. And I'm actually just gonna keep all of these cards because I don't think my opponent can beat 1 True Name, much less 3. So I think like if they have another verdict or a snap verdict here, I just want to like windmill True Name after True Name after True Name, because eventually one of them is going to stick to the wall and it's going to carry the Sword of Fire and Ice to victory. Yep. Yep. I choose you, Pikachu. So they have Batterskull and then 4 cards I don't know now. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Sure. And so, like, obviously, they're going to get to hit me with this turn, but eventually, my True Name's going to hop in the car as well. And then, like, once my True Name's driving a Batterskull, they definitely are going to have a hard time. So, like, and I'm hitting them for 7, and they're only gaining 4 here. So, like, we're kind of coming out ahead on that exchange, too. So, like, they're taking 3 every turn, and I'm drawing an extra card. Whenever I'm supposed to play a Stoneforge Mystic there, just, like, go get Umezawa's GT out of my deck. I'm, like, not doing anything else with my 2 mana. So, I could see that being a real possibility. Sure. They have a True Name of their own. Council's Judgment. Yep. The Council's Judgment might get them out of this. What's the line here? I think the line is end step snap, hope to draw a land so I can snap plow the germ. Wow, okay. So I can snap plow the germ and then push the Jace. Yeah. Alright, 3rd time's the charm, chat. I'm gonna grab a basic plains here, just in case some of these blue-white decks play back to basics in the main. And that could definitely kind of punk us out of this one, if they hit it. Alright, so they're going to get 4 looks at an answer to this True Name. While a lot of these decks only play 1 Council Judgment and like 1 to 2 Supreme Verdicts, they likely have 3 to 4 Snapcaster Mages, but I guess they've already played 2 of those too, so hopefully they miss on an answer to this turn, and this will be able to give Jace a little love tap here. If I can take Jace off the table, I'm back in control again, but the game snowballs for my opponent every single time they get to activate this Jace the Mind Sculptor. They pitched a Force to Force. Second Verdict, yep. Yep. I have a Singleton Council's Judgment in my deck. No, Max owns the world. And also, any thoughts or people that are saying things like that, they definitely don't have statistical sample sizes that are meaningful to make conclusions like that. Even if I was playing Magic 24/7 between when the change went and now, I'd barely have something that would be relevant. Like the amount of matches you need to play to like say meaningful things that aren't just like talking out of your posterior for things of that nature are just like huge. Yeah, I definitely kind of got punished, Tom. Like, the turn I Snapcastered versus Stoneforging, like, they had Council Judgment the turn I Snapcastered, and they had something else, they had Verdict the turn I Stoneforged, so, like, definitely got very punished for my sequencing decisions. Alright, what do you got? The London Mulligan will come to Magic Arena if they decide that they want to implement it for all of Magic. Hey, Quintez. Hope you're feeling better. Do I just take Brainstorm here? I feel like I just take Brainstorm here, right? Because, like, Brainstorm gives them 3 looks, and, like, they have plenty of mana, right? I think I just take the Brainstorm. Think we're dead. I guess I can snap Ponder into Council's Judgment. Thanks for the 28 months, Lido. Welcome back as well. Things were going so well early in this game. And they had a bunch of answers to our True Names. It just slid downhill really quick. I mean, like, oh my god. I forgot there's bolts in my deck. Oh, that's so bad. Do I just concede? I feel like I should just concede. Alright, I'm gonna shuffle, because I have to shuffle. Yeah! Alright. Alright. Hit me, dealer. Play well, get rewarded. Yep. Yeah, I totally should have pondered off the Tundra. Because if I pondered off the Tundra there, I wouldn't, if I pondered off the Tundra, I would have still been able to cast Council Judgment, and I would have been able to cast Bolt. that one. Get it out of here. Alright, so their hand is Ponder, and I have Batterskull and Sword of Fire and Ice versus their stuff. Such a skill game, indeed. So they're picking the Batterskull back up. Yep. Opponent chose a shuffle. That's good for the home team. Yeah, I'd have been able to use my other mana more efficiently. I just have to Vol because, like, there's no red cards. This is game 1, but there's definitely 2 bolts in our deck. Hitting a 7th land tier is not even the worst because it means I can equip Batterskull plus Sword of Fire and Ice to my Snapcaster Mage and take him to Pound Town. They drew another Jace the Mind Sculptor. Yep. And I'm through Snapcaster Mages at this point, right? There's one in my bin, one in my exile, one in play. I've got 2 bolts in my deck that can kill this Jace, and that's it. Well, that's the land we talked about. MWLX, thanks for the 10 months. I'm attacking them because if they take the hit, they die. So, obviously they're not going to take the hit. Interesting, they chose to block with Stoneforge instead of the Batterskull. I guess that kind of makes sense since I have Umezawa's Jitte. Makes it a lot more expensive for them to redeploy the germ, though. I'm probably, so like, I'm pretty solidly behind at this point. Like, not impossibly gone, but pretty far gone. I'm probably going to make them play this game to the conclusion, though, because I'm currently up 2.5 minutes on clock. Which, if this goes to 3, that could be incredibly relevant. Nah, I don't really think you need a Braid, Greg. Bolt killing Jace the Mind Sculptor is way more relevant than a Braid could ever dream of being killing artifacts. Oh, we're gonna see so many cards. Hey, wannabe Beetle. Almost have my horsey. Please bump or add your new favorite deck in Standard. Will do. Alright, so I just, like, take Plow and then crush them, right? Actually, if I... Oh, they're no longer dead to the Snapcaster, right? I think I'm still just supposed to take the Plow. As I just kill them, but this gives them life, so they're not dead. So the top 2 cards in my deck right now are Jitte and Plains, which feels a little bit bad. They pitched a True-Name to force. Yep. Oh! Oh! Do 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 do. Do 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 beep 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 Dang it, Bobby! Just like that, we're right back where we started. I was so excited, chat. I was so excited. Yikes. Yikes. I cannot afford to both pay 3 and replay the Batterskull in the same turn, which is unfortunate for us. So, Jitte, go. And it was different. I think it was right to stack the Jitte on top so I could play and equip it the following turn. Hey, what's going on, Fohawk? Good morning. And again, I feel like we've been behind for a while here. But I'm now 3.5 minutes up on clock as opposed to 2.5 minutes, and this match could definitely come down to the clock, so here we go. I'm gonna make them deck me or put me to 0. They've seen what they've seen out of my deck at this point is like. They've seen what there is to see. Yeah, and like that's the other thing too, right? Like I'm 34 cards into my deck with 0 copies of Jace, and like this is their 3rd copy of Jace, and they've brainstormed, you know, an absurd number of times. And honestly, at this point, like, they're still just brainstorming here. Like, if I, like, find cantrips into bolts or, like, Jace into bolt, like, we might still be in this to a degree. Like, I'm at 45. It's going to take them a little bit to close, even with doing 8 a turn now. And they're still making decisions. Like, my clock lead is up to almost 4 minutes now, so I just need to take them to a game 3 to time them out. Nah, not at all, Greg. Play faster. You know what's more annoying than the fact that you can win more games than your opponent and still lose the match? The fact that people play atrociously slow. That's way more annoying. What's going on, Scooter? Happy 14. Welcome back. They counterspelled our Batterskull on the way back down. And again, just focusing on from a pure competitive standpoint and playing to win with Maximize, when I realized that I could no longer win this game, I was up 2.5 minutes on clock. Now I'm up 4.5 minutes on clock. Did you change the Gristle list, or is that a different deck? I don't know what you're talking about, Vortex. Which Gristle list? The Unnamed, thanks for the 8 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me here. I don't know about any meme list, but the list that we're playing today is just the stock Grishal brand list that we played a ton in the past. Thanks for the 8 months, The Unnamed. Hope you're having a good start to your week. We should have a pretty reasonable leg up post-board in this matchup because we have the red splash. The red splash gives us 3 copies of counter target True-Name or kill target Jace for 1 mana out of our sideboard, which is pretty potent. I'm up over 5 minutes on clock now, so by making my opponent actually take game actions, I've gained 2.5 minutes off my round clock, which is great. In fact, if the second game plays out like this one, I don't even have to go to a game 3 to win. Like, I could be losing the second game, and they've spent over half the round clock winning this game. So unless game 2 is a runaway, like, we should be good to go. Yeah, we're going for the timeout win, Scooter. Listen, people play atrociously slow in Legacy anyways, and we've been hemorrhaging tickets playing Modern, and this is, Legacy only has high roller leagues that are really expensive, so we're gonna play to our outs. This deck's good. It's not like I'm playing a meme deck, so like, if I'm playing a deck that's like actually good, let's just like play to all of our outs. So all the Pyroblast and Elemental Blast get in here. Gideon Jura is great in the fair matchup. Umezawa's Jitte leaves a bit to be desired in this one. At least a couple of the forces come out. I don't think this is a Flusterstorm matchup or an Engineered Explosives matchup. I think trimming 1 Plow is probably fine. Like, they have Stoneforge Mystic, but that's about it. Oh yeah, Disenchant's good. Randomly tagging their equipment. That's a good call. I'm going to trim another force. One force is probably good, especially with my Pyroblast and Red Elemental Blast coming in here. What's Meddling Mage for? Combo decks. It's for like show and tell and storm and stuff like that. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I don't think Flusterstorm's quite good enough here. Flusterstorm doesn't counter or kill the things that this matchup. Oh, you know what? This Engineered Explosive should be in my deck. Do I have time to bring this in? This kills True-Name. I was just about to say Flusterstorm doesn't counter the cards that this matchup's actually about, which are Jace and True-Name. Red Elemental Blast does, and I was like, Engineered Explosives kills True-Name, so let's bring that in. I don't have Supreme Verdicts on my side of the board to like take their True-Names out, so like I have a Council Judgment and then Engineered Explosives plus Counterspells, which could be merit to like leaving some number of forces in just because they do stop True-Name. This game's fine. Not amazing, but fine. Yeah, Grixis Goryo's as foretold we did yesterday. So I'm going to keep these. You'll note I stacked it, so I'm going to draw the Jace next turn, because if this Stoneforge resolves, I'm going to shuffle that island off the top, and I want to draw the Jace. Hey, Kyle. Thanks for the 9 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. The Goryo's as foretold league was good yesterday, by the way. You are into interesting modern decks. That one's worth going back and watching. It was the deck of the day. It was shiggity sweet. Saw an ad. Yikes. Yep. Advert is a good reminder to re-up the Twitch Prime sub. Thanks for keeping me around, Kyle. And, like, I do want a third land here still. So, like, we're going to ponder next turn if we brick on the third land. Like, try and find that. Stoneforge of their own, yep. Yeah, we played Grixis Goryo a number of times in the past before Ninja Turtle. Alright, so let's ponder to start. Now, I do think I need to... I do think I need to plow... I think I want to just plow their Stoneforge here. So I'm not gonna be able to put my Batterskull on this turn, but I think that's fine. It was great, Drock. I concur. It was very good. the other sweet deck was yesterday. We had a bunch of good sets. We played Tron too. If you're into Tron, the Tron League's worth watching. There were some good Tron moments. Some people don't consider things like Tron sweet though, so I don't wanna forward the current agenda. If you're not into that sort of thing. This game is well getting set up to be a slog here, which is working well for our primary win condition, which is timing them out. Ooh, that's a good pickup. No red source for this kind of sucks, though. I mean, they know I have the Brainstorm, chat. In fact, I think Cloud Post lands would probably be worse than the Tron lands are on average. In my humble opinion. Because mathematically speaking, the Cloud Post lands are far less likely to play Karn on turn 3. And Karn on turn 3 is often the best thing to be doing with Tron. And the probability of Post playing Karn on turn 3 versus the probability of Tron playing Karn on turn 3 is night and day. So next turn's going to be Brainstorm, cast Stoneforge Mystic, shuffle, get my Batterskull. I have a True-Name here. All right, so we're hoping to Brainstorm into a red source here, so I can Council's Judgment this plus Pyroblast. That's really incredibly unfortunate. I guess. Oh my god, I tapped my lands wrong. Oh, they didn't have a counter with another force. Whew. Whew. Yikes. Alright. Well, I don't have Counterspell up when I should possibly have Counterspell up. Sure. Okay, so all the people that are like telling me that I should have brainstormed in response to the click trigger, they just don't take anything with the click trigger, chat. I get that I could have the Batterskull for the next turn, but like, I think that's not super relevant on the current board state. And I'd much rather they just like, I'd much rather just like have it happen and like just let it go, basically. And like get through more cards with my Brainstorm, potentially. Everybody that's saying I should have hit it is assuming that my opponent's going to take something with click when that's not a requirement for Vendilion Clique. It's not how the card works. But then that's spending 2 brainstorms to put a Batterskull into play is rancid. That is not a good use of my brainstorms. There's no guarantee I hit a land doing that, guard yourself. Alright, so really looking for Engineered Explosives and a red source here. Snapcaster's not bad. So I have Spell Pierce here as well. Alright, so what are we doing? So the plan here is I can Council's Judgment with Counterspell up this turn, and I can snap Council's Judgment with Pyroblast up next turn, I think is the line. So I'm going to put these two back, and I might want to draw this True-Name later. But I think the plan for now is just control the board. Because if I can take their True-Names out, I can regain control here. What's going on, Bill Nyes? The zombie guy. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your week. Thanks for the support. Correct. Yeah, if I attack with the Batterskull Germ, I do not gain life. I think I just let this happen. I don't think this is a big deal. I think with the rest of the cards in my hand, I'm not really in danger of getting tempoed out of this game. Like that plow there says to me that they're trying to tempo me out. They could have a Spell Pierce or a Flusterstorm here. That plow could have also been trying to bait the counter out of me. And like, if they don't have another counterspell here, my next turn is snap Council's Judgment, the True-Name, and then like Pyroblast the Jace, and then we're like kind of at parity. I guess I'm a little ahead on board at that point, but they'll have more cards in hand. Correct, Flab. I'm not doing Standard again until Thursday. So all MTGO today and tomorrow, and then I'm taking Wednesday off. I'm not really ahead on cards because the Jace is drawing a card. Oh, clock. Yeah, I'm super ahead on clock. So again, just trying not to die. And if I don't have to win this game, I just have to not lose to win the match. And a lot of the time, people board out Force in this matchup, so I wouldn't be surprised they don't have that in their deck right now. Morning. Good morning, RX. Hope life's treating you well. You're having a fantastic start to your week. Thanks for the biddies. Welcome to the top of the board. Well, the season doesn't reset with the new set release. I think I'm just passing here. Why? The seasons are monthly. More to Rufus Rosa. Thank you for the 3 months of support. I really appreciate the quarter of year. Welcome back. Yep. Yeah, when we do the thing, we will activate Stoneforge, retain priority, and then bounce the Batterskull. It's been a while, but I remember that one. So the reason why you activate Stoneforge Mystic first is because this way they can't kill my Stoneforges in response to me bouncing the Batterskull is the difference. So like if I bounce this and they kill my Stoneforges in response, it does expose me to Disenchant though. That's a thing it does. Which I guess technically is it wrong to do that like that? Because is it wrong to do that like that because I have 2 Stoneforges? Oh, Disenchant still gets it either way, right? Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna Spell Pierce this. The Spell Pierce is like drawing kind of dead anyways. Although this lets them Spell Pierce my Jace. Do I scry here? Nah, I'm just gonna draw a card. I'm gonna hide my Clique for now. Yeah, correct. And Jace doesn't die to Clique because of Karakas. But it does let them click me again, which is a little annoying. Toxic Flames, thank you for the 9 months. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping being played here. Or Nick Fit decks on the no-fly list. They are. For Legacy decks, I'm only playing decks that feature Chalice of the Void and Ancient Tomb, Brainstorm, Ponder, Force of Will. Those are the Legacy decks we play here, aka the good ones. Sure. Alright. And now I'm going to click them to check for a counterspell here before I jam the Gideon Jura. Nope, you can keep those. The best Vendilion Cliques are the ones where they get to keep everything. What if the Nick Fit deck has those cards? I might entertain a blue Nick Fit deck, yeah. Maybe. No, not guaranteed. And I don't guaranteed play decks that have those cards, but those are a requirement to get through the door. This is my opponent conceding to try and win the 3rd game in 3 minutes. I think this is a concession to try and win the 3rd game in 3 minutes. Alright, so here's, and this is more Moto strategy than Legacy strategy. Do I board in my forces on the draw, just so I don't get, like, guaranteed don't die in 3 minutes? Like, do I change how I'm sideboarded to time them out? I don't know if I want all of them, but I definitely want some of them, just because we're, like, on the time them out game plan. Board out the win cons. Yeah, I like that. Just like cut the true names. This is 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It's 21 blue cards. Yeah, bring in the 4th plow. I feel like I leave Stoneforge in just because it's a win con that like helps us stay alive. Nah, I think I like the EE. I think I want max ways to kill their true names. Because true name is the easiest way they run away with the game. So I think I want EE and Council Judgment are ways to take their true names off the table. So again, if I wasn't playing to time my opponent out here, I would click submit and stay boarded the same way I was boarded for game 2. But because my opponent's starting this game with less than 4 minutes on their clock, I am changing my game plan in accordance with that. I think if they Stoneforge, I'm going to force pitch Spell Pierce. Do I pitch Spell Pierce or do I pitch Brainstorm? I'm gonna pitch Brainstorm, actually, because they could force me back. And I have Council's Judgment here to cover me if they stick a... a True-Name, so I'm just gonna jam my Stoneforge here. I think that's fine. Yeah, I don't know. Like, my deck has a good number of basics in it, so I'm not even sure they have back to basics in their deck. And I definitely want to make sure I have my colors, so like Red Elemental Blast them and stuff. So I think it's worth fetching my Volk here. Yeah, they also really can't play back to basics at the moment. That's true too. It's a good call. We would not be spell piercing a back to basics on this board. I'm just gonna let this happen because I want to be able to spell pierce a Jace the Mind Sculptor next turn. Yep. So hoping to draw a land so I can Judgment plus spell pierce in case they have forced blue card. They have forced blue card, we might get run out of this game. Wow. I think it's right to just jam there, because like once they untap, they get spell pierces and stuff. Was end step fetch Brainstorm better to try and find the fourth land? Yeah, maybe. I think that's a correct assessment, that I should have end step fetch Brainstormed. Alright, so these are actually really good, because it lets me click to check for interaction and then untap Snap Council's Judgment. Oh, you know what? I think I should have put one of these Spell Pierces back and kept the Sword of Fire and Ice. I think I should have put one of the Spell Pierces back and kept the Sword of Fire and Ice. Another small mistake on my part. A lot of micro decisions jammed into a short time in these games. Jace, Disenchant, Supreme Verdict. Nope, you can keep those. Cards that don't win the game in 2 minutes once I snap Judgment you. This is basically game winning unless they untap and draw another True-Name. And then I'm gonna be under the gun to like find my Engineered Explosives ASAP. We don't know the answer to that, Ninja Turtle. They did say they were basically sunsetting the Modern Masters sets last time, so... Or we weren't going to have them for a while or whatnot. So they have Disenchant, Jace the Mind Sculptor. Hey, Trax, thanks for the host. Hope you had a good stream this morning. I know they have a Disenchant in their hand, so I'm just going to sit for now on the double Spell Pierce. I think they're obligated to just jam just because they're under the clock. Alright, now I'm going to play these lands out, because if I draw a 7th land next turn, I can Batterskull with Counterspell up. Honestly, I'm not even supposed to do this, am I? Yeah, I'm just gonna pass. If they didn't have 1 minute on their clock, I would cast my Batterskull here, but I think because they have a minute on their clock, I'm supposed to just wait. Yeah. They conceded because they didn't manage their clock well. All right, we're 2-0. I'm gonna run to the bathroom really quick. I'll be right back. Thanks for hanging out, folks. That was kind of boring. Yeah, Legacy basically has Legacy tends to lack middle of the road games of Magic. So Legacy games are usually either incredibly fast and brutal and decided by like the second turn, or they last to like the 20th turn with players going back and forth making very small decisions every turn instead of big ones. I mean, to be fair, the clock thing comes up in paper matches of Magic 2. It's just instead of me getting to win because I play quickly, my opponent would win or we would draw. Like, I had used a good chunk of my clock too, it's just I play very quickly. So, like, I had used, like, 16 minutes off my clock, which is a lot for me. Like, when we play Modern, I barely use 10 minutes most matches. I'm actually I'm very staunchly of the opinion the Magic Online clocks are too long. So, the Magic Online clocks give each player 25 minutes, which I think is too much because a match of Magic is 50 minutes in paper. And online, you don't have to shuffle, and you get separate 3-minute clocks when you sideboard. So you actually have more time to play online than you do in a paper match of Magic, which I think is silly. I think 20 minutes for each player would be more than adequate. They conceded because they were going to timeout, Jace. They had 1 minute on their clock in game 3 with no threats in play. The only time I ever tamed out Emoto is when I first started streaming. Yep. You probably would have finished that match of paper because you had your clocks together. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think so Artifact did a lot of things really poorly, but Artifact's round clock was perfect. So for people that didn't play Artifact, this is the clock I would like to see implemented on Arena and Magic Online too if they could. Each player starts with a small timer. I think it's like 4 or 5 minutes. And every time you take a game action, you add a small amount of time to your clock up to a certain maximum. So each player can only have a certain maximum clock. And on top of that, each individual action has an action timer. So it's like Arena or Hearthstone with a rope, but it also has a chess clock too. So like you can time out from taking too long, but you also can't just spend your entire 5-minute clock on a single game action. Does unused action timer help you? What do you mean? In what way would it help you? His hand's kind of awkward because it doesn't have a fetch, but it's got like Brainstorm and a Plow in True-Name. Hopefully my opponent's playing something fair where this Plow has a text box. If we're playing a matchup where True-Name has text, we're in an okay spot. If we're not, we're going to be a little sad. Underground Sea could go either way. Preordain likely means that our hand is atrocious and we're going to die. So there are some of the Arclight Phoenix decks play Preordain, but most of the Preordain decks, Underground Sea Preordain decks in Legacy are like Storm or Reanimator or stuff like that. I guess Reanimator usually plays Careful Study and not Preordain, so usually Storm. It's not a separate timer, Chalky. So there's just a thing that you don't see that like you have like 20 seconds per action. That's not a separate timer. So your actual clock timer is ticking down at all times, and then it passes priority for you if you take too long on a single action. Alright, please give me a fetch land. Fetch land or ponder, please. Fetch land or ponder. Alright, I mean, Stoneforge Mystic almost counts. Pretty sure this Swords to Plowshares isn't relevant. Hitting the Spell Pierce here isn't terrible, though. I think I'm gonna hide double True-Name here, just because I don't want to get them all Cabal therapied to lose a bunch of card quantity. All things considered, as far as Brainstorms that didn't involve a fetch land there go, that one was pretty okay. So, assuming my opponent is playing Storm, in my experience playing Legacy, soft counters like Spell Pierce tend to draw dead the turn Storm players go off a lot of the time unless you have them under a significant amount of pressure. So in general, I'm a fan of using soft counters aggressively on their cantrips to stop their setup ability because Storm at its core is a critical mass deck. Badlands likely indicate Storm. This is a Delve threat? Alright, not Storm. Got it. That actually means these True-Names are awesome, right? That actually means these True-Names are about to be absurd. So, the streaks you have to resub within 7 days, I think, but to keep your icon, you can have that up at any time. I think I just let this resolve and then just, like, untap and plow it, right? It means I can't True-Name or Stoneforge this turn, but I think that's fine. Yeah, it looks like my opponent is playing just a fair deck with Preordain. Yes, yeah, they shortened the grace period to keep your streak, Tom. Because they changed it so you don't have to keep a streak, basically. Don't daze me, bro. Nah, in the event they have Diabolic Edict, I think I'd rather just burn the plow. I don't know, there's merit to doing True-Name too. The mana efficiency is a good point. Yeah, I'm so smart and thin. I'm so smart and thin, chat. Do 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 do. And so, like, the fact that this card sees play in Legacy makes people think that the new Edict Plus is going to see play in Modern, and I really think that that just couldn't be further from the truth. I think it really shows that disconnect people have from not understanding that the power level of Magic cards is contextual to the format that they're being played in. True-Name Nemesis was never in Standard. It was one of the many direct to Modern cards. Oh, you know what? I probably should have fetched here because they could kill my Stoneforge in response to me fetching next turn. What's going on, -3 Karn? Life swell. Getting Culligan's commanded? I think I'm getting Culligan's commanded. If I get Culligan's commanded here, what do I ditch? Oh, they're just killing that. Deal. They have a Snapcaster here. I'm going to cry myself to sleep, but I think I do want to put the sword into play here. This matchup's probably pretty bad for us. If I had to venture a guess. Yeah, True Name only has protection from the player you name. So you can still put swords and Batterskulls and stuff like that on it. Mono greed. All right. This doesn't resolve. I'm going to concede. This league's taking a long time. We're pretty unlikely to win from here. I'm going to plus on myself here because I would like this to not die to Lightning Bolt next turn. Good chance my opponent's got a number of bolts in their main deck. Yeah, Culligan's command is one of the many reasons Stoneforge Mystic would be fine in Modern. A braid being another. I'm just gonna pass for now. I don't know how we actually win this game. It probably involves drawing too many cards with Jace. I probably want to hold my bolt for their Jace the Mind Sculptor. Yeah, I don't really feel safe enough to... I don't really feel safe enough to start... I feel like I'm not far enough ahead to start plussing my Jace, basically. You know what? Oh, there's a Spell Pierce on top of my deck, right? So if they crack this fetch and... If they crack this fetch and cast Force of Will for 5 mana, I'm just going to Brainstorm and back into the Spell Pierce. Alright, there's the land I wanted at some point. No, Jitte cannot shoot True-Name, unless it's your True-Name. If you control the Jitte and the True-Name, then yeah, I can shoot it. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but that's a legal play. So there's a bolt on top of my deck. I'm going to put a stop on my upkeep just in case I want to shuffle it away. Batterskull. Like, K-Command's still, like, good against Batterskull, but if we keep some mana up, especially if they kill the Stoneforge, Batterskull becomes a lot worse. They have a True-Name of their own here, maybe a Jace. Yep. Didn't I shuffle off of Stoneforge? No, they were forcing the Stoneforge, chat. Oh, I shuffled off with a Stoneforge from the Lightning Bolt. I got you. I thought you were talking about the Finding the Spell Pierce. You're fine. You're right. The top of my deck is not a Lightning Bolt unless Moto did us a solid. Moto likes to not shuffle. So they played a Jace, so I'd really like the Lightning Bolt. They have a Hymn to Torok here. Yikes. Alright, well, we're pretty far behind. Yeah, we're close. I think I'm just going to hide the backup Jace here. I'm going to go Island, backup Jace, keep the 2 counterspells in my hand. I could see merit to playing the land out and just holding up Force this turn. If they don't kill my Jace, I'm going to shuffle. Resolves. Yes, as you will. Keeping both counterspells in hand is better against Thoughtseize, which is nice. Alright, so I've got 2 bolts and 32 cards after I crack this fetch. I'm going to fetch my extra Volk just in case they've got a stray Wasteland. I don't want to get taken off of red while I'm trying to find my bolt. So I don't actually have any equipment left in my deck, but the Stoneforge does shuffle, which is nice. Yeah, that's true. My hand is kind of good at the moment. So the current plan is try to run them out of threats. So they know this is coming. I don't think I'm supposed to play around a daze here. They have another Jace. They have a True-Name. There's a big fish. Big fish in. The way this game is going, it feels like we could be heading back towards another. I haven't played any Swords to Plow. I played 1 Plow. I'm gonna Brainstorm since I have this Stoneforge to shuffle guaranteed. Put these two back. Just want to exile their fish. There might be merit to just, like, chump blocking their fish for a turn. And, like, holding that, or keeping that in my deck for, like, their next Mind Sculptor or True-Name. I think I'm on the run them out of threats plan, so I didn't want to use the Jace to unsummon there, because I just want to keep finding answers to run them out of threats. I'm through a lot of stuff at this point. I'm through. So this isn't going to find anything, but I am going to search because I want to shuffle. Oh, I could have just looked at my deck, huh? We've not seen True-Name from them, but I assume, like, almost every fair blue deck has True-Name in Legacy. So I'm through a good deal at this point, honestly. I'm through all of my True-Names. That's a great draw, and it rewards me for having countered that Baleful Strix. Ooh, that's good too. Alright, I think I'm actually putting this Brainstorm back, huh? I think I'm putting this Brainstorm back. Nahiri. There's a Nahiri the Lithomancer. Counter or picks equipment back up from the graveyard. Is a card that occasionally sees play. Alright, so this is a Pyroblast matchup. This is not a Blood Moon matchup. I think they have plenty of basics. I definitely want some of my forces out. I think this is a Flusterstorm in matchup because they're a Hymn to Torok deck. How do we feel about Izzet Staticaster? Yeah, they're going to have Rebs post board too. All right, I'm going to cut all the forces. I think I'm going to trim one plow here. This is definitely a Gideon matchup. Let's get him in here. Is Jitte worth keeping in? It cleans up Strix, but that's about it. It's probably not good enough. What do we think of this configuration? What's the difference between Reb and Pyroblast? So, Reb and Pyroblast in this deck are functionally the same card. You just play a split of them because of cards like Cabal Therapy or cards like Meddling Mage. The actually difference between Pyroblast and Red Elemental Blast is that Pyroblast can target cards that aren't blue, it just doesn't do anything, whereas this can only target cards that are blue, but functionally they're the same here. You think I should cut all the plows because you expect them to cut all the big fish? Really? You expect them to cut all the big fish? I'm gonna cut one more. I don't know, I think expecting them to cut all the fish is wrong. GTA, like, kinda cleans it up, and, like, I have Jace and True-Name to, like, beat fish occasionally, too, but going down on some plows doesn't seem unreasonable. I'm gonna submit like this. Yeah, I agree that fish isn't great against us, but that doesn't mean they're necessarily going to board it out. Oh, yikes. I'm going to throw back a bolt and a land here, I think. Unbanned Deathrite Shaman. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. Thank you for the 8 months. Welcome back. All right, Flusterstorm's actually a really good draw here because it means I can counter him to Torak on 2. This is actually Legacy, Rudy. So we're going to be doing Modern the rest of the day, but we're playing a Legacy League to start the day. You do a little bit of smatterings of Legacy here and there. Something that I'm making a point to plug a couple of times today is that if you are a fan of Legacy and Modern content and you have decks that you would like to see played on stream, with me kicking up the amount of Legacy and Modern content that we're doing this week, I'm playing 4 decks today and I'm playing 4 more decks tomorrow. And I actually only have 8 Modern and Legacy decks left in the queue. So that means after tomorrow's stream, my queue will be empty for non-rotating formats. So if you have Modern decks you've been thinking about submitting but didn't want to wait, it's a good time to do that. I am not playing more Modern or Legacy after tomorrow for the rest of the week, but next week we'll be back to 1 league per day to start things off. I elected not to play Stoneforge Mystic here because I didn't want them to be able to untap and play True-Name. There is an increased requirement to submit Legacy decks. It is $50 for Legacy decks and it is $25 for Modern. Alright, so they obviously don't have a Hymn to Torak here. So I think I'm actually going to Brainstorm into Red Elemental Blast this. Sounds good, Loam. Thanks for the support. Yeah, I think I'm gonna throw both of these back at this point. And I'm just gonna go ahead and blast this because like it's a card that trades with one of my threats that like also draws them a card. So I think it's worth just like stopping. Oh, they don't have no wait, that was their second turn, right? No, that was their third turn. They missed a land as well. That's good for us. I don't know what your question means, Chalky. What do you mean by current standard? Do you mean like, am I playing more standard before the set releases? The answer to that question is no. Will there be a day where you stream RNA standard? No, I'm not playing more standard before the next set release. They're gonna have a counterspell and I'm gonna lose all my cards. So, kind of punished for sending the Flusterstorms back. I don't know. I think it was right for me to send the Flusterstorms back with the information that we had. Holding the Spell Pierce means I can Spell Pierce a Jace the Mind Sculptor, and I can't Flusterstorm a Jace the Mind Sculptor, but definitely getting pretty punished here. Also kept the worst of the 3 cards in my hand here, so getting and then re-drew the Flusterstorm right off the bat. What a beating. So opponent stumbled, but they recovered soon enough. We're pretty far behind at the moment, but a Jace the Mind Sculptor could pull us back in, or a Gideon. Unfortunately, we lost one of our Jaces to that hymn. We actually played against Infect on Friday in our Legacy League, Brian. Ugh. I feel like calling any 3-mana spell definitely modern playable is asking yourself to be disappointed. People always seem to overestimate the threshold of what's playable in Legacy and what's not, or Modern and what's not. This is the part where they can command me and I concede. I mulliganed low there and then got destroyed by him to Torak. And maybe I could have been a little bit more conservative playing around it with the Flusterstorm, but I don't know. Like I said at the point in time, I think I liked the decision that I made there. How do you feel about boarding in Blood Moon on the play to try and cheese them a little bit? I'm going to cut these plows and board in Blood Moon on the play. As an American and a vegetarian, I'm a big fan of cheese. How's the league going so far? We are 2-0, and we are heading into Game 3 of the third match. Seems decent. Yeah, it's not the worst. And Grixis can't take it out of play. And, like, it's similar to Faithless Looting in Modern, when, like, you draw Blood Moon and it's not good in Legacy, we can just Brainstorm it away. I mean, this hand's not good. This hand's not good at Blood Mooning them, but it's just, like, a keepable Legacy hand. De Paris, thank you for the 9 months of support. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Favorite type of cheese. Does cheesecake count? I'm going to go with cheesecake. That feels like the most American answer to that question. I missed your sub. Demir Spy, sorry about that. Thanks for keeping me around. So do I Brainstorm or do I Ponder here? I think I Brainstorm. Could see that going either way. I don't really need Council's Judgment. Maybe I'm supposed to Ponder because I don't need the Council's Judgment. I'm going to pass for now. Because I want to hold up Pierce for the Sim to Torak. Our hand's, like, okay. The fact that I didn't really want to draw the Council's Judgment could be a reason, though. Because there's no shock lands in this format, I want to fetch on my upkeep just in case they have something weird like a Stifle so I can Spell Pierce it. I'm going to play this Ponder before my land, so they want to burn a Counterspell on this. I'm okay with that. I think I'm definitely in for land 4. The question is, am I in for land 5? I have a Pyroblast, so I think I'm in for land 5. I think I'm in for land 5. Actually, you know what? I don't really want the basic mountain. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put these back. And I'm going to play the Tarn, and then I can Brainstorm at their end step and get rid of this mountain. That's the line. Although I do love Spell Piercing opposing Brainstorm, so I'm going to do that instead. And I don't want to put down Pyroblast, so I don't want to get True-Name next turn. Alright, that one resolves. I do appreciate that my opponent's playing pretty quickly. They are within 10 seconds of me in the Magic Online clock, which is impressive. A lot of people tend to lag way further behind than that when I play with them. Island. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and brainstorm now. So what do we think of this Blood Moon? Does this Blood Moon do stuff? I feel like it might do stuff. I'm gonna put the bolt back for now. If they Flusterstorm me here, I'm gonna be sad. Because I can't Pyroblast a Flusterstorm. So, game one, I plus my Jace right away to play around a Bolt. Should this resolve, I'm actually going to Brainstorm right away this time, though, to play around a, Blast effect. So, post-board, I think they're more likely to have a Blast than a Brainstorm. Or to have a Blast than a, what's it called? So, I'm not going to be able to cast the Snapcaster Mage this turn, so I have to redraw one of these cards. So I'm going to hide the Snap on top of my deck, so that way it's not exposed to a Thoughtseize or a Hymn to Torok next turn. Because I'm guaranteed redrawing that top card. Hey, Ozzy Pants. Well, thanks for the Twitch Prime sub. Subs like that keep me streaming here, so hey, appreciate you keeping me around. Do 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 do. All right, it's looking like this Blood Moon's gonna be going back from whence it came. Opponent has successfully assembled basic Lantron here. Which, it's kind of annoying that I've got 2 blanks in my deck, but to be fair, they were Swords to Plowshares otherwise, so like they wouldn't exactly be particularly useful here. The Snapcaster Mage that we cleverly hit on top of our deck is going to snap Pyroblast this Jace. We're gonna brainstorm first though, because I would like to try and find something to counter their counter. Yo dog. Clique kinda counters their counter, right? In a roundabout way. So this is worse against exactly Spell Pierce, but better against Force, and better against Red Elemental Blast. I think it's correct to do this. It might have been right to ditch the Scalding Tarn and keep the Blood Moon here, because if they fetch Reb this, I could then Blood Moon them off of black mana. Yeah, that's true too. The Clique just pressures the Jace. Hey, Corn Chips, thanks for the 10-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. All right, is your last card Spell Pierce? Otherwise, Jace can get blasted, and then we're solidly ahead. Not a slam dunk by any means, but the advantage bar is definitely on our side of the board. Okay. They pitched a Baleful Strix to the Force to counter my Clique too, which is absurd. The Stoneforge Mystic shuffles our Brainstorm, which is good because we've got this Blood Moon that I really don't want. Yeah, they're looking pretty dead, Bob. I'm gonna grab the Sword of Fire and Ice for now. I'm not gonna put it into play just yet though, because I want to like dig for another counterspell with Jace next turn before I play and equip it. You know what they say about people that play Badlands, opponent? It's the same thing they say about people that play Scrublands. They're really plateauing their legacy career. Alright, so this is counter unless they pay 3, because I played 2 spells before it. Do 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 beep 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 do. The old 1 mana leak, yep, basically. Ooh, counterspell. Don't need this, don't need this. What are bad lands and scrub lands? This is a bad land. It's just a dual land that makes 2 colors of mana. Please inject the card advantage directly into my veins. Hey, Tasty, thanks for the 3 months of support there. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you are having a fantastic start to your week. Just like, nah, stop it. Alright, I'm going to fetch here because I know there's a land on top of my deck that I'd rather not draw. Are you ready for Thursday? Gosh, am I ready for Thursday, Tasty? Do-do. Do-do-do-do. And now at this point, I think it's safe to say that like we're a solid lock because like we've diversified our card advantage at this point. Like they need to deal with the sword, they need to deal with Jace, and even once they do that, I have plenty of follow-up. What's Thursday? Thursday is the release of War on Arena. Alright, so second Bolt and Snapcaster Mage are lethal here. Do 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 do. I shuffled and the Batterskull is still on top. I think I'm gonna any order shuffle these. My hand's already like really good. Just like, yeah, trying to find the card that kills them sounds appealing. Just like, slam the door here. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. Sorry. Have to take a moment to turn on trade requests from buddies only. It's had a bot's try to spam me, which means some idiot's watching the stream and they're gonna command bots to start spamming me if I don't toggle it on. So let's cut that idiot off at the pass. This is definitely, it definitely feels like we could have another legacy deck of the day. This deck, like, if you're interested, this deck almost makes me want to put a legacy deck on my website. I just, like, don't have a spot to put it up there. Room for a cut the line, depending on what it is, Ohio MTG. If it's, like, a reasonable deck, I definitely have room. If it's not a reasonable deck, I don't feel like getting pummeled. What do you got for me? I like when we play good legacy decks too. Yeah, I'm doing all moto today and tomorrow, and then I'll be back to standard with the new set on Thursday. It's actually, we actually had a higher average viewer count doing Modern all day yesterday than I had doing Modern into Standard on Tuesday and Thursday last week. The Standard numbers are just way down. People are spent on the format. And honestly, I understand why. I'm kind of spent on Standard 2 at the moment. Perfect, Ohio. Yeah, link me. If it's anything close to a tier 1 deck, I'm probably in. Yeah, Sunday with nothing else going on, like there were no other major streamers on and there were no events, was a good time to pick up viewers. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine for a cut the line, Ohio. No, you can moon their stuff and then copy their stuff with Vesuva. It's actually kind of sweet. You can moon your own Titan too, theoretically, but I believe the intended use is to do it to their stuff. He took my Snapcaster, so probably a fair matchup. Inquisition as opposed to Thoughtseize is interesting. I'm gonna lead on Flooded Strand here since I drew Lightning Bolt. Another Grixis matchup, maybe. I mean, you could probably sell a kidney to get a legacy deck. You don't need 2 of those. If I send you a box of snacks, would you try them on stream? It depends what it is. Usually I don't take food from people on the internet, believe it or not. Usually if people want to send me stuff, it needs to be like an Amazon sent package or like sent from a major store to my P.O. box. Eating things that random people want to send me on the internet is a loose idea. Especially for someone like myself that is occasionally harassed by said strangers on the internet. A modern MTG with the old cut the line. Here we go. That's for Amulet. Sounds good. Get that added in here. The way they brainstormed aggressively at the end of my last turn makes me think they might be a combo deck. There goes my chance of luring him into the van. They could still be a combo deck here. I think Inquisition over Duress or Thoughtseize implies fair deck, but this could definitely go either way still. I could maybe counterspell them to keep them out of my hand here, because they are a combo deck. They know the coast is clear. Okay, Baleful Strix, not a combo deck. Got it. But I hadn't considered the internet. Yeah. Clique's actually not a terrible draw here, because Clique alongside Karakas is incredibly difficult for them to deal with. So I'm going to wait a turn so I can play the Clique with Karakas up without cracking my fetch land. Yeah, Admiral, if you know a website that will ship to the US the snacks you want to send me, if they're like you want to order from a site and have the site send them to my PO box. Full Metal Adept cutting in as well. Any chance we can get a copy of Green Black Elves in today? Yeah. It's been a hot second since we've played that one. All right, maybe we'll run a little bit late today. Thank you for the absurd support, you two. Would you ever eat, what is Vegemite? Yeah, a prison's gonna get pushed off today, but I think we're still gonna play down to Grishelbrand. Sweet, we've got like 4 decks I all like today. For Modern, that sounds great. And like I like this deck too, so like we're 5 for 5 on decks I like. Australian Ambrosia. I don't know what that means. And look at that. We had a couple of people cut in, so now I won't be out of Modern decks after today. Or after tomorrow. I've been in Elf Withdrawal. We might be able to do some sweet things with Elves and Standard with the cards that are coming out of the latest set. The Sword of Fire and Ice is good here because it lets us attack through these Baleful Strixes, which is nice. So, this could get forced, which would suck. The Contest, thank you for the 5 months. Really appreciate the support. Thanks for keeping me around. We are gonna, so after tomorrow I was gonna be close to running out of Modern decks. When I fired up this morning, there were only 8 Legacy and Modern decks in the queue. And I'm playing 8 between today and tomorrow, but y'all just added 2, so I'm done with Standard until the new set hits. Which the new set hits Thursday, so. Alright, so we like kinda got a 2-for-1 here. Like, they spent 2 cards taking the Clique off the table, but at the same time, this Culligan's command is also making me discard a card out of my hand, so like it's kind of a wash. We basically turned their Culligan's command into a 1-for-1, which at the end of the day is probably still a win for us. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty redundant, right, Percep? Like, all things considered, it's, like, pretty redundant. If I'm donating to put decks in the queue, do I just link them in the donation message? Yep, Ohio. Yep, just put a link in. Anything tier 1, tier 1.5 in Modern is fine. If it's anything more out there, I'd ask that you submit them through the form, though. Legacies are 50. Because as much as I do enjoy playing the format, it's not as popular as Modern. So, I don't want to overdo it. Jace is great here, right? I'm not super excited to draw the Swords to Plowshares, but Jace... I guess drawing the Swords not even that bad with these two Baleful Strixes in play. Yep, Modern is 25. Standard is 10, Modern is 25, Legacy is 50. I'm going to go ahead and kill one of these now because I want to take some of them off the table with Jace coming up anyways. Perfect, Ohio. You'll get a response tonight then. And thanks for the support. This is where they play a Jace of their own. Well, at least I'm going to be able to spell pierce their counterspell on my Jace, unless it's a force, I guess. If they have a force for my Jace, I'm probably going to concede. That's pretty punishing that I elected to burn the bolt on the Baleful Strix here. Maybe I should have waited to cast the bolt till end of turn. I think there's a chance I should have waited to cast the bolt till end of turn. Alright, so I know there's a plow on the very top of my deck, but I think I want to leave up the Volk on the off chance I'm lucky enough to brainstorm into my second lightning bolt. Alright, and then what do I want to hide here? I think I hide Sword plus Snapcaster here. I want to keep Force Blue card. Perfect Vortex sounds good. Nah, I'm really not a fan of 4-color loam. Basically, my line for Legacy decks is needs to have Brainstorm, Ponder, Force, or Chalice plus Ancient Tomb. This is why we kept Force Blue card. Wouldn't be too surprised if they have a counterspell here, though. The good news is I have a Snapcaster Mage on top of my deck, so I get to Snap Bolt their Jace, and then, like, we're kind of at parity. And there's a Sword of Fire and Ice under my Snapcaster, so, like, if they shuffled this Fatal Push away, which they might have, because I haven't had any creatures, the Snapcaster Mage could run the distance. Bug Helper. Have a sword to go with your shield. Thanks for keeping me around. I'm really not a fan of the depths decks, Bob. I've played them a couple of times, and they feel kind of mediocre. Did they fetch and fail to find? Alright, so they're out of mana-producing lands? No, they got a... No, they got a thing. They just tapped it right away. I'm dumb. Alright, so I get to bolt their Jace, and then if the top card of their deck isn't if their top card of their deck is a blank here, the top card of my deck's a Sword of Fire and Ice, so I'm actually ahead if they just brick once here. That being said, like, they have Kolaghan's commands, they have Snapcaster Mages, they have counterspells, they have a lot of cards here that let them maintain their lead. But I don't have anything going on, so, like, here we are. I guess I should turn off auto yields here, because if I draw a land, I want to play it so it doesn't get hemmed out of my hand. Let's kill the Strix, I guess. there any cards apart from Spell Pierce and basic lands from Standard that see play in Legacy right now? That's a good question. I don't know if the answer... Oh, if we get to untap here with this Counterspell, this game is over. Ugh. We've played through so many Jaces today. Arclight Phoenix and Teferi see some play, that's true. Chef Seth with the $101 donation for Bant Eldrazi. I feel like the old Modern regulars who do cut the lines have been pent up. Maybe I should try and schedule a couple of Modern only days every month. Thanks for the absurd support, folks. We 5-0'd a league with Thief of Sanity the other day too. That's true. One, two, Jay Bosin. Thanks for the 3 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. No, probably not. Put it through the form, Captain Man. I'd have to look at it. Do you have a specific Bant list you want me to play, Seth, or do you want me to play the one on my site? It was on Friday, Tom. I think it was Friday. It was the last. Look, if you look at the decks of the day, it was the deck of the day. It was really, really good. I don't think this is a Blood Moon matchup on the draw. I think we're just boarding like we did last time. Like we've kind of played the same matchup twice in a row. I'm going to cut the forces and the 2 swords. Do this. This seems fine. Yeah. Maybe we'll look into doing a an all modern day like every other week or so. Tuesday has the lowest viewer count for Standard anyways. That might be a good day to do it. And definitely not until after the war hype's died down though. Once war releases, we're doing modern into a bunch of Standard for at least a week or two. Today's actually been really swell. Eggs are good. This league, we are 3-0 and up a game. This league's been long. This is probably going to be a 3-hour league. You know, in any order, shuffle those. Like, I want a 4th land at some point, but I'm, like, pretty likely to find one or another cantrip. Mondays are actually my highest viewed day on average, so I'm definitely not replacing... Can't let Seth out to me today. Consider this money for modern decks I'm submitting. All right, Seth, just go second, Seth. Really, it's okay. Seth, I'm thinking about your wallet, Seth. Again, thank you, Ohio, for the support. So I'm just going to go ahead and burn the Spell Pierce here. I get a little bit punished if my opponent goes exactly Black Source him, but like I said, I kind of just want to use my mana. My hand's a little full at the moment. And I'm sure they're going to go Black Source him now and make me feel sad, but I think I like doing that. Deal. Hey, Brando, thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. And, like, I have 2 Stoneforge Mystics, and, like, if they take the Jace, I still get to go Stoneforge with Spell Pierce up next turn. And maybe because I pierce this Ponder, my opponent's going to miss their 3rd land drop. That would be good for me. They took the Spell Pierce. Okay. They don't currently have... They don't currently have a 3rd land, so that's great. Counterspell plus True-Name. Wow, these are just, like, both excellent, huh? How do we feel about... So, like, if I play the Stoneforge this turn, I only get to draw 1 of these cards. I think I'd rather have the True-Name. I think we're just on the, like, Slam Bombs plan. And I think this is likely to die, so I'm going to get a Sword of Fire and Ice rather than a Batterskull. Although I guess no, I'm going to get the Batterskull because if they tap out to kill this next turn, I get to untap and play Jace the Mind Sculptor. So I want to get Batterskull to encourage my opponent to kill the Stoneforge Mystic right away so I can then stick Jace. That's the sequencing. Can you sing me the song of your people? Nope, just an edict deal. And getting an edict cleared before I play True-Name is great as well. Bolt's a great draw because it insulates us in case they untap and draw Jace. I'm going to start grabbing... Nah, I'm going to grab the Tundra. I was going to say, maybe I should grab basics here just in case they back to basics me, but I think they only have 2 basics. I think that's pretty unlikely. They forced pitching a Jace of their own. I think that's a win for me. How are we doing in this league so far? We are 3-0 and we are up a game in this 4th match. And we've been playing for 2.5 hours. For people, Hyder in chat is asking about, is a website up? Isup.me is your best friend. Wow, they just down-ticked the Lily aggressively, getting nothing, hoping to hit there. That's good for me. Alright, so I'm gonna... I love this line. We get to Brainstorm the Batterskull back into our deck, and then shuffle with the Stoneforge Mystic to go get it. I don't think I want a Karakas. And I think at this point, because I kind of want this to survive, I'm going to get Sword of Fire and Ice. And maybe I'm supposed to get maybe I'm supposed to keep the Batterskull because I want to get Sword of Fire and Ice here. That could go either way. There could be merit to keeping the Batterskull. I like changed my line part way because I wanted to be cute. It could have also been right to keep the Karakas so I could cast the True-Name plus activate Stoneforge in the same turn. So I think there's a chance I might have mucked up that Brainstorm there. Okay, huh. I'm gonna put back True-Name and Jace. They notably don't have red mana for Kolaghan's Command currently. Opponent concedes. Just a little bit too far behind. Alright, well we're 4-0. Feels good. We've made all of our bucks back. And then some. Let's win some more treasure chesties, shall we? Legacy is an astonishingly good format if you enjoy playing decks like this. And I do enjoy playing decks like this on occasion. Legacy has a lot of what I refer to as quality games of Magic, even if it does lack archetype diversity a good bit. Like, the archetypes that you do get to play have a lot of micro decisions, which tend to be interesting on average. Will I open a chest if I 5-0? Nah, those chests sell for tickets, which turn back into more Moto Leagues. It is Amulet Titan that includes Imprisoned in the Moon. For the cheekiness. Hey Seth, do you have a specific bant list? Or do you want me to use the one on my website? Let me know. I need to get cards for it after this next match if you're still here. I'd assume look no numbers when you brainstorm on Arena, it just hides all the cards in their hand. You could actually test that. Riverwise Augur is brainstorm on Arena. That card's standard legal. You could direct challenge a friend with decks to try and test what it does. I'd assume this is going to be the last Legacy match. We've been playing for 2.5 hours, and we're 4-0, so we're going to find one more. Hopefully we pair into, like, Reanimator or a combo deck, so it could be quick. Infect Reanimator would be great. Win, lose. It blows through quickly. I like Thragtusk in the side. I don't know how I feel about Wormcoil Engine. Seems okay enough to give a try to. I sent a few build-arounds on the donation for my donation yesterday. Sounds good, Scholar. I will take a peek at those and probably get them into tomorrow, I believe. Because after today, the modern decks at the top of the queue don't have much. So your donation from yesterday, I'll push that up. Yeah, Wormcoil's definitely great against green-black. It's worse against blue-white, but I guess blue-white's not that popular, so I can see Wormcoil being the right choice. Gosh, 4 minutes in the queue. That's longer than some games of standard. Alright, we got him. The old 4-0 versus the 2-1. Yeah, we'll see. This league took 3 hours, so if any of the other leagues go long, we might not get to Griselbrand today. Griselbrand might have to remain in the queue for another day. The bottom of Plow rather than a Snapcaster Mage here, I think. Because in the event they're playing a deck where Plow doesn't have tech, Snapcaster Mage is like better. And like Snapcaster Mage is like another Plow. Although against basic planes, Plow tends to be okay. It depends. They could be Death and Taxes. Death and Taxes usually has a turn 1 play though. They could be Miracles. No, I'm just kind of spent on standard plasma. I'm like, the whole new set is spoiled, and like I've played a ton of this current standard format, so I wanted to do a couple of blowout Eternal Days to like clear out some of the backup that was in my deck queue. Like just get a little variety in before we play a bunch of standard. Second planes means they're more likely to be death and taxes, which does make me a little bit sad that I pushed the second plow. But plow, snap, plow, and True-Name are all really good here. London Mulligan's been great. It is a solid improvement to Magic the Gathering in general. Bacchanation, thanks for the 7-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So we'll go plow your Talia, untap, True-Name you. Sounds wonderful. I think I'm actually going to take a hit here for 2. Nah, I'm not. I'm a liar. Let's just do this. No, I haven't moved my office yet, Team Darkwater. Oh, they're Soldier Stompy. Okay, True-Name's still great here. Do I... Yeah, there's only one double white card. I'm just going to get the islands. I think there's still a Wasteland deck. The double True-Name should be very good here, though. We do have a full house. Yeah, Christy and I are waiting to sell the old house before we have money to, like, do any upgrades here, including my office. The old house needed a bunch of work, so we've been getting that done so we can actually sell it this summer. Yeah, I believe this is Soldier Stompy. The Chalice makes me think so. I guess there's some Death and Taxes variations that have Chalice. Double True-Name's going to be a tough nut for them to crack, though, because, like, one acts as, like, a you can't attack into this, the other one just, like, runs them down. For people that haven't played Legacy before, this card's incredibly offensive. It has protection from my opponent. Ooh, okay, Stoneforge Mystic. If they have a Sword of Fire and Ice, which a lot of these decks do, they can run past my True-Name. That being said, double True-Name's kind of tough to race. The fact that they're at 22 is relevant, though, because it means that I don't have them dead in 3, I have them dead in 4. I'm doing well, Rabner. Yeah, I saw that, Vonin. Like I said, it could still just be traditional Death and Taxes. Opponent decides they can't beat Dub's True-Name. Alright, at any rate, Spell Pierce seems bad here. Disenchant seems fine. Staticaster seems fine. Explosive seems fine. Gideon seems fine. Definitely want my Force of Wills. Is it crazy to just cut a couple of Ponders here? I think I want to just cut a couple of Ponders here. Just to, like, trim on my cards that are impacted by Chalice. Well, that was a game 1 Chalice out of my opponent. I think I like this. I really do like the Red Splash Nexus. I think if you aren't greedy and don't run any colorless lands, it's pretty marginal. Like, think of this basic mountain as like our one colorless utility land to facilitate our splash. We've actually played this Jeskai Blade configuration almost card for card 3 or 4 times now. I like this 75 a lot. So if you are looking for a Legacy deck that I've played a good deal of, if I was going to a Legacy tournament, I would play this deck. It has a lot of good tools in it. Although the blue-black deck we played last week was sweet too. If I was going to a Legacy tournament, I would play more of that to figure out if I like that more than this, but I know I do like this. Yeah, definitely, Chucky. Turn white-green tokens into choice points. And I already owned a 200. Yeah, I think this deck's super reasonable. I think if you don't want to shell out for Volks, playing just straight blue-white is fine. I do think it's a power level decrease, but I think it's still competitive. But I do think if you have the duels to facilitate the splash is worthwhile. I think I'd rather get Stoneforge down than disenchant this right away. Which might be wrong. I don't know. If they play, if we get Jailered next turn, I'm really sad that I did this. That is unless I draw a land. If I draw a land, White Source, I can disenchant plus Plow. But I guess that's not even that good. I'm hoping it's untapped with the Stoneforge. Palace Jailer is usually their only way to remove it, I think. No, proxies are not allowed at Legacy Grand Prix. Proxies are not allowed in Wizard sanctioned events. I think I just do this now rather than discard to hand size. Is it crazy to just let this happen? That's probably stupid. I'm just going to force this. Eternal Weekend and occasionally, like, the side events at really large tournaments are the only places sanctioned vintage ever happens. Alright, so we're going to lose Batterskull here, but I'm going to get to play and equip Sword of Fire and Ice, so, like, that's not the end of the world. I'll start generating card advantage that way. I'd really like just, if I can hit a couple of land drops here, we're going to be in a very good spot. What's the difference between Legacy and Vintage? Vintage basically only has cards banned that involve anti or sub games, and then the rest of the cards that are otherwise banned in Legacy are restricted in Vintage, so you get to play one copy of them. So the big difference in what cards are legal are cards like Mox and Black Lotus. There's a number of others that are restricted as well, but those are the big two, Mox and Black Lotus. The power 9 cards. Sure. I think I just pass here. I'm like planning to click them at end step. Because, like, if they use the Ancient Tomb, the Clique is... the Clique is lethal if it connects with the Sword of Fire and Ice. So it does 3, 5, 6, 7. Because they're going to get to Wasteland something at some point, Tom. And ideally, I'd like to fetch a Plains with this. And they kind of need the mana from this Wasteland. So I don't think they're going to proactively Wasteland me here, since I already have since this is my 4th land and not my 3rd land. So unless they have an instant speed removal spell for this Vendilion Clique, they're dead. And even if they do, we're still, like, in a good spot. All right, what do you got? Yeah, they can't, like, plow me. All right, sweet. So we are 10-0 in my last 2 leagues of Legacy on stream. So obviously Legacy Masters here. This is card for card the Jeskai Blade list. We've played, I think this is the 4th time we've played this at that. I wouldn't change anything. I think it's a great balance of things. I think the red splash is definitely worth it. Lightning Bolt is just invaluable in the Jace mirror matches. Its extra 1 mana removal is just good in general. Pyroblast and Red Elemental Blast and Blood Moon are all worth their weight. Your master abating, yep. All right, we had a number of cut the line donations. So normally I'm very prepared and have like all my decks lined up and ready to go, but I need to take like probably about 5 minutes here and get things imported. So we had Amulet Prison. So that's one. And then we're doing Bant Eldrazi. I actually already have green black elves in my editor here. Sweet. I think this matches the list on my site. 3 Dismember, Revoker, a couple of Surgicals. Scavenging Ooze, Lead the Stampede, yep. Alright, need to go place an order with my sponsor to grab cards for the new deck. We're going to do Bant Eldrazi and Amulet to start.